What is up, everybody? It's Knoxville Nights. We're back for yet another episode. This is number 16. I'm Josh Gerlach. That's Blake Walker. We had a little inside baseball. We had to change things up a little bit this week, so we're recording a little early, and I think Kade's sleeping still. So we'll see if the alarm clock goes off.
We were worried about me because we
you had your hour trip back.
We record this on Sunday. When this gets released on Monday, make sure to wish Josh a happy birthday because it is his birthday. Josh is going to go out on the lake pretty much today, and he's going to just kind of chill out in the afternoon in the high heat. So we had to record this morning, and I didn't remember till last night, as of last night at the races, till about 1 a.m. And I stayed up and watched the Prairie Dirt Classic till 2:30, and I rolled out of bed, drove an hour to get here, and let him. Lo and behold, it's the guy who's in Knoxville that didn't wake up this morning.
So no yawning, Blake. That's the one thing. We're no yawning this morning. So we'll see if Kade pops in here. I'll keep an eye. We'll throw him in there. We'll give him a little bit of shit. But no, we got some stuff to talk about. It was another fun night at Knoxville. Thankfully, the weather held off. We had a big rain cloud. It looked a little ominous there for a little bit. But it was a fun night. Tasker Phillips, he won his third feature of the season in the 360s and also clinched the track championship. So big congrats out to Tasker. We caught up with him with our Jetco trailer talk last night. Had a fun combo with him. And Rico Abreu, man, he's good. He also picked up his third feature win of the season at Knoxville, his 11th overall. And afterwards, then we talked to Carson McCarl. We were going to try to get him last week, just some scheduling stuff didn't work out, but we did finally get to catch up with him. We'll have that here at the back end of the episode today. It was another good conversation. Another quick little housekeeping. Do not forget all 4 days of the 54th NOS Energy Drink, NOS Energy Drink, Knoxville Nationals.
64th, not 54th.
64th. I keep getting tripped up on 54th. I don't know. We've had 10 more. 64th. Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's. We are going to be live on the Dirt Vision stage. Me, Blake, and Kade will be there for that. It's going to be super fun. We have 5-time 360 Nationals champion Shane Stewart. He's going to be joining us on Thursday. Friday, TBD.
Yeah, we're not sure.
If we have a guy that if he's going to be there, he is committed. We're just waiting to hear the confirmation.
There is no way
it will be awesome.
You won't not love it.
It will be very, very entertaining. We'll just leave it at that. And then on Saturday, we've got the sprint car YouTube king himself, Tanner Holmes, is going to be stopping by. All of our guests will be there at 2 p.m. Our show starts at 1, so make sure you're there so you don't miss a thing. We're going to recap everything. The Extreme powered by MediaCom 360 Nationals presented by Great Southern Bank. We'll be doing that on Wednesday, and also recapping the Avani Windows and Doors Capitani Classic presented by Great Southern Bank. We'll do that on Wednesday, and then we will recap and preview the rest of the week every single day. So that'll be right behind the ticket office, like I said, on the Dirt Vision stage. So make sure you stop on out. If you're not going to be there, we will be live thanks to Alan Hansen. He's going to be helping us out, and we'll be live streaming on our Facebook and YouTube accounts. So look out for that as well. He's not here, so we get to talk a little crap if we want to. But Kade had a decent night, I'd say. He didn't get the best draw, and that hurt him last night. Blake, I think you talked about it on the broadcast a little bit, that the track really went away for the guys in the back half or very late in qualifying. He went out, put down a lap of 20th. I think J.J. Hickle was really the only guy that really put a heater down. And that was a good lap. Kade won the heat race, started outside pole, won the heat race, kind of going away, and then had an up and down feature. He went started 14th, dropped back a little bit, got inside the top 10, and then had some contact with Terry McCarl and ended up 14th.
I mean, I think at the beginning of the night, the qualifying was tough. The track just dropped off so quick. I mean, those first about 10 guys were really fast, and then after that, they just dropped. And Kade he qualified. I'd like to go back and look at the times because he was 13th when he went out. Mm-hmm. And then every other, after that, it was just 13th. Nobody could get above 13th. And they just kept dropping him back and back. And, 37 cars, one more car, we have a split in qualifying. And this is a different story, maybe. I don't know if Kade, the math, I'm not really sure where he would have been, if he would have been the second split or the first split, but
I think it was about the 21st car, if I counted it correctly.
He would have been right there up at the second group, but that's just unfortunately how the cookie crumbles. You miss it by one, and we don't split. The heat race, I texted you. He started on the outside of Logan Alexander, and Kade is faster. I mean, the car's just a little bit better, so I expected him to do that. And he ran the bottom well. Kade would tell us that what we saw all night, Josh, is that the bottom in 3 and 4 especially was juiced all night long. I don't think Kade ever left the bottom in 3 and 4, at least in the heat race, and was able to hold off.
Definitely did not in the heat race. Yeah, he was hammering the bottom pretty good.
Yeah, and then the feature, yeah, you're stuck. I mean, unfortunately, it's just kind of been Kade's thing this year. The car's there. I think the car is better. But I thought about it when I got back to my camper. I'm not a fan. Like, I don't root for any driver. But as Kade is our friend, you root for the guy. And it's just, I give him credit for ironically waking up every morning and saying, let's get back to it, because this year has been very hard. I mean, and I can see it and you can see it. I mean, he's not, you can tell it hasn't ate on him, but it's definitely bothered him that it's
frustrating for sure.
Yeah. And it's, I like seeing the guy happy and like when he's run well, it's really fun. I mean, it's good to be around Kade all the time, but like drivers are great when they're happy. And, it's just, there hasn't been a lot to be happy about this year. And I think this week is a big week, obviously with the Nationals and the success that he had last year, at least in his prelim night. But I don't know, man. It's just kind of one of those things. I mean, Jamie Ball be in the same boat if it wasn't for that win earlier this season. And I know Tony Ross has just really slipped here as the season's gone on. He'd tell you that, as they've just been trying things. And, Timothy Smith started backed it up. And, it's just well, hope for the best. But, his nose wing was a little bent last night after his contact with Terry. Him and Terry were not happy with each other. I didn't catch it. I don't know if what you saw just kind of explain that. I didn't see it. So,
yeah, and with that too, like the thing, and I talked with Kade last night too, it just seems like on the starts, he's always kind of in the wrong spot, like wrong lane. Yeah, because he got balled up a little bit on the initial start, and it dropped him back from like 14th to about 16th, 17th. And then you're just chasing, like this is a recurring theme, unfortunately, kind of just chasing from there on, and had a hell of a battle with Tony Rost. Those guys were going back and forth. And then, I think it was after the last restart, there was some carnage, that happened. We'll get touch on that shortly. And just kind of got out of the groove a little bit. I think Terry kind of short slid him a little bit in turn 3, and Kade, it sounds like I thought they kind of hit bumper to bumper, but it sounded like Kade said that he kind of ramped up over Terry. Yeah. And then the steering was messed up from there. He said he went from being at about, turned about 10 o'clock on a clock to being at about almost 3 o'clock. So that's not how you go fast. There was, I know that like you said, they weren't happy. They were sharing some hand signals, I think, after the races, giving thumbs up or something of the like, but, Battle of the 24s got a little bit heated.
There were 4 threes last night, by the way. Like
for Dale, baby.
3F, 3R, 3P, 3Z. I can't do that. But interesting track surface last night, Josh. I mean, just the juiced up bottom. Carson McCarl talks about it a really good chunk. Like he was showing us like on the track and what it's like. Sounds like that's probably what we're going to get for Nationals. I'd love the top to be a little bit better. They kicked it down. They didn't kick it down, but they did something to it.
It's kind of bladed a little bit.
They fully kicked it down for the 410 feature, but the top was just not the place to be. I mean, Tasker, who loves running the top, ran the bottom the whole night, and we'll get to it, but was untouchable. So, I don't know. I thought it was a good track surface. We got a lot of rain in the morning. I mean, that was a given, and the humidity was 90%, but
yeah, I mean, it's tough to get the moisture out of the track. And like we talked with Carson and even Tasker a little bit on that trailer talk, was just kind of saying how that probably is going to be similar to what we'll see here in the next couple weeks.
But it is cooler this week. I mean, I'm very curious what that'll do. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, but sounds perfect for Nationals weather. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't get quite as wide as what we'll probably be seeing here soon. And especially in the 360s, I'm kind of repeating what Tasker said last night. When it's plugged in that good, it's hard to go the long way around when you don't have that extra horsepower to get around guys. Yeah.
And a 360 is just not a thing.
Yep. And it just is what it is. And like you were saying, when the humidity is 90%, what are you going to do? Yeah. At least we haven't had any rubber. I don't even think
besides really that second week of the year or whatever. It's been a good year. So
they definitely have.
Duncan should be proud what they were able to put out here on a weekly basis. I also want to say the crowd was phenomenal.
Yes, it was.
Great crowd. My goodness. I mean, Weiler Night's a big night. Weiler brings a lot of people, but I think a lot of people are getting here for Nationals. And I don't look at the crowd until I stand up for opening ceremonies. So when I stood up, I'm like, dang.
I heard you on the PA. I can't hear you very often, but yeah.
Sometimes I can tell, like, when they're parked all the way to the church across the street and all the way back in the Hy-Vee lot. Like, that's when I'm like, okay, there's got to be a good chunk of people here. But that's awesome, man. I mean, I bet the 360 Nationals this year probably bring in the most amount of people we've ever seen.
I hope so. Because we've been spreading the gospel, the last few weeks. Like, it's going to be a great show, and
everybody's
especially with the
names.
Iowa. Yep, with the names that you're going to have. I think that, and we were talking a little before we started recording here. I think we're going to see a lot of NASCAR teams, crews, just and drivers just hanging out. I mean, we usually see it, around this time, just because of the event that the 360 and 410 Nationals bring. But it's cool. I hope that it can just continue to get bigger and better. And we saw for the 410 Nationals, by the time this comes out, it very well could be sold out for Saturday.
Yes.
I think on Friday there was only 500 or less tickets available.
Get your tickets.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to go, make sure you get your tickets, because they very well could be sold out here very soon.
I saw someone asking, I think it might have been the Houston's Heckler. He was like, how's the backstretch? There's no bad seat in the house. I mean, truly, there is not. The backstretch, I was talking to Ashton with Tony Ross' team, and I was just kind of asking him about it. He's like, man, you feel like you're on top of the cars.
That's what I was going to say.
Backstretch. And he's like, you can feel the wing go by, and like you can feel it. So, I mean, if you want that feeling, that's the backstretch, and then obviously the front stretch. So,
yeah. That's where my family and where we used to sit, like when I was up in the stands, like we sit just about middle of the backstretch, and you are definitely much more closer to the action. Yep. And it's a different perspective. Like, you can kind of see they're not really going straight really at all ever there. And you can kind of see how they're diamonding down the backstretch and getting stuff set up. So it gets a little rowdy back there too, which is fun. So yeah, make sure you get your tickets.
Absolutely. We had 37 cars for our Randall Roofing 360 Sprint cars. James McFadden, Brian Brown, who we'll talk about here in a second. Chase Randall, Justin Peck, all notable double duty guys. Really good to see those guys out. Good speed out of James McFadden and Justin Peck and Chase Randall. I mean, off the rip, I thought those guys, they got to be happy with what they did. And all three ran in the top 5 at one point.
Yeah. And I know Peck looked like may have had some stumbles in the heat or in the feature.
Just didn't get going very well. Yeah. Like, the car just didn't take off, but once it got rolling, he was on it.
And we'll hear that with Carson as well. Like, trying to get fueling and all that stuff with that thick of air is tricky. And we saw that bite some people, throughout the night. But it was good. We had quite a few, 3-4 high rollers that were in town, and it's never a bad thing. Doing the double duty. Yeah. It's good seeing those guys, and it's impressive, man. They hardly ever run 360s, but you can tell that they do this for a living, and they just jump right in, and it looks like nothing to pick back up.
Credit to the teams. I mean, that Tarleton team, I don't think has run a 360 all year. I mean, maybe ran one, obviously, with Tanner, probably in California a little bit, but man, that thing was a rocket.
So, you got a 360 champion in there, though, a 360 Nationals champion. So
if anyone can do
it's
it,
in good hands.
Justin Peck, I keep saying it was unbelievable. I mean, he destroyed the field at Volusia back in February in a 360. So, I mean, that we know that car has speed. We talked about Brian Brown. I talked to Brian at the beginning of the night, and he's like, we're just going to shake this down. He hadn't really, to my understanding, they hadn't driven that car. So he's like, we just want to make sure it works. We're not going to put laps on it. Like, we're going to be fine.
I'd say.
And then he goes out and sets quick time. And then we're like, well, maybe he will drive it. He didn't drive it.
Nope.
But boy, got to be happy. I mean, he went out earlier, but I mean, it's Brian Brown, 360 Nationals champion, multi-time 360 Nationals champion, has a pretty good shot to do it again, especially if he brings that speed.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was surprised to see him go out and put that lap down. It would have been fun to see him go out there and race, though.
Yeah.
Just selfishly, but
I think he could have won.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw, there was some carnage last night. So, especially if it was a new car, probably that the speed's going to be there, and you just don't want to screw anything up and put yourself behind heading into such a big week and couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a big wreck in the feature. Kaylee Bryson, Kurt Mueller, Russell Potter, Justin Zimmerman all get together on the front stretch. It kind of started, Justin Peck didn't go on the restart, so it stacked up James McFadden trying to get, because the cone's on the front stretch, there's nowhere to go. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. You go below the cone, you're penalized. And that was a chain reaction all the way to the back. Again, don't quote me on it, but there was some sort of contact. Kaylee got hit from behind when I looked down and got turned into the outside wall. And then everybody just stacked up. Russell Potter, Justin Zimmerman, Kurt Mueller got upside down, took a pretty tough tumble down the front straightaway. But everybody was out. Everybody was okay. But boy, just a tough break for Kaylee Bryson, who qualified ninth. I mean, really good night for Kaylee. She started ninth in the feature, just kind of went backwards there off the start, and she's learning. I mean, that's a given. But yeah, just kind of got turned to the outside wall, and yeah, Kurt was along for the ride.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for her because she could, I think, to her own words too, she could use the laps there. So
Yeah.
getting some time up front. Yeah, it just looked like we were just saying there. It looked like Peck. I don't know if it just stumbled, spun the tires, whatever. Cade, I asked him later. He said he was about half throttle when they got to the cone.
Yeah.
So that's usually not the best. And if you think he was about mid pack, back in the way
And
back.
good luck. Yeah.
I
'cause
said
they
it's almost
can't
a little like iRacing. You get
Yeah.
some crazy stuff that happens like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was some hard hits after we saw a big one from Ian. We'll talk about here a little bit. It was good to see everybody out and able to walk away from that one.
Yeah. If you haven't, Kaylee Bryson does really good stuff on social media. Like she is good about posting videos throughout the night, and she was very heavy on Twitter last night in the middle of the night. But yeah, really good stuff out of Kaylee. Just kind of her and team as both learning process here at Knoxville have been really good about sharing that process and what they do.
And how hard it is, man.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, yeah.
I think it's easy.
They say that. They say that constantly. Like, man, this ain't easy.
It's easy to watch from the outside, and you get kind of, especially if you're there a lot, just getting used to watching people,
Yeah.
Who have honed their craft over the years. We've heard it from guys that we've talked to this season that Knoxville's its own beast, and it takes a certain driving style to get around there and get around there fast. And people that don't have a ton of experience in a wing car or at the big tracks or both, it's cool getting that perspective. And it's cool that they're open about it because, they have struggled some, and it's probably not the most fun to share, that side of things. But kudos to them. Make sure you give them a follow because it is fun to watch the stuff that they put out.
Absolutely. Jamie Ball backed it in the fence over in turn number 1. I texted him. He hasn't answered. It's early in the morning. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He'll probably let me know later today. But something happened. I'm not really sure what happened. Could have been a tire went down. The left front tire or the left rear tire was flat. Tough break, man.
Backed it into the fence pretty good. I didn't see.
I didn't catch. I think I maybe caught the very tail end of the contact. Like I don't think it bumped in the fuel cell that bad, but. I don't know, man. If Jamie didn't have that win earlier this year, it'd just be it has been a tough year, but I think he's thankful for the win that came.
For sure.
I mean, season's not over yet. He's had good speed. I mean, in the 410 especially,
Definitely.
But yeah, just a tough break for our friend Jamie.
Yeah. I mean, shit, he's probably had a better 410 season than the 360. And
honestly,
without the win, especially, he has looked really good. I think probably the best he's looked in the 410 for sure this year. But yeah, I was a little skeptical when I think it was Mike. I overheard thinking that they might push him back off. I was like, that was some pretty good contact into the fence. And, but yeah, luckily he was good. And, wasn't any worse and like getting tipped over or anything like that. Cause when you're sliding sideways up the track, and it's easy to catch that cushion and go for a spill.
Good luck. Just tough break for Jamie.
Hope
for the best here going into the 360 Nationals. Tasker Phillips and Clint Garner were on the front row since our good old buddy Kade hates fun and drew the 0. So that's about how that goes.
Tasker's crew was pretty happy.
Oh
about
yeah,
it,
I'm sure. But yeah, that was so funny. I mean, he pulled that. I could kind of see it on his face. He's like, but Kade pulled the 0, so that means Tasker and Clint were on the front row. They were tied in points, and it went by qualifying time. Obviously, is who gets the advantage. So Clint Garner started on the pole. Tasker got a good jump. As Tasker says in our Jetco trailer talk, he's like, we were just having fun for the first lap or two, which is just a funny way to say it. They were. I mean, they were battling side by side. And then Tasker, if you haven't gone and watched it, but basically along the lines, he's like, the bottom's the place to be. So who's going to do it first? And Tasker like, well, I'll go do it. So he plugged it down there on the bottom and ran away. And he ran away, Josh. Like there was every time we had so many cautions, so many stoppages, it didn't matter. Like that one Taz just took off. That was probably the best he's looked all year.
I would agree. And I posted it on Twitter last night also that, the best 360 car and driver won the championship this year.
Yes.
Like, people over the years, you've kind of heard the trash talking that, Tasker just tears up a bunch of stuff. That wasn't the case this year. Like, he was clearly the best 360, and
Never
he went
lost
out.
the points lead when he switched to 360 points. And people
Yep.
thought for sure he'd lose it. He never did.
And the rules are the rules, whatever.
Yeah.
That's out of
We
our
talked
control.
about it. We ain't going to talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
that's out of our control.
yeah.
That's out of his control. So, yeah, I mean, man, I know that he was out in clean air, out front, and like you were saying, that there were some stoppages and stuff, but that really hasn't mattered. Like, he has shown earlier this year when he's won a couple other times that he can get through traffic really well. He got through traffic well last night when they were in traffic, the one or two times, and he's definitely honed his craft, and it's been fun to watch it, and seeing the crew's reaction to the win and the championship win is really cool. Those moments never get old.
Yeah, they pulled into victory lane. Bill came in the room just to listen to the interview, and he said he clinched it. So I said it on the PA, and whole crowd erupts and everything else. And his team is down there. They heard it, obviously, and they were going crazy. So that was
And the
really
crowd,
cool.
like you said, the crowd reaction.
Like,
I said
is
it in the
already
trailer
big as
talk.
it is. Yeah,
It's the biggest reaction. I mean, it rivaled Rico last night, and that just goes to show you how well liked Tasker is, and for good reason.
Yeah, and he wasn't on our interview, but he was talking about how, I mean, more than like an hour. I mean, people were just down there wanting to line up and everything else. So really cool for Tasker. I mean, I tell you what, Josh, if I'm Clint Garner, I'm very happy with the speed the last 2 weeks. Obviously, you're on the front row, but able to hold on to that speed. You think him and Tasker are not far and away, but our pretty best shot if a 360 regular is going to win the 360 Nationals? You think it's probably going to be one of these two?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
Gronendijk, if Gronendijk starts up front, I think Tyler will be right there.
Yeah, and JJ is a Knoxville regular. He's not
That's
a 360
Yep.
regular.
Yep.
But I think JJ Hickle, he has shown that 63. Him and I think Blake is his crew chief. They've got they've got that thing working really well. He made a mistake last week, like he had said, and caught the berm wrong and just spun it, which happens. But I definitely think those are the three clear ones: Garner, Tasker, and JJ. And then, like you said, if you get a good qualifying lap and you're able to start up front in the prelim, get good points, start up front on Saturday night, anything can happen.
Yeah, you just never know, and that's what he told us. Sweet spot 12. He's like, I think he was talking about that for the 410 Nationals as well. But he's like, if we get that sweet spot, I think he'll be right there. So really cool. Ryan Levitt goes plus 11. He's your hard charger of the night, 211th. Ryan had a couple hard charging spots tonight.
He looked real sporty last night. I think he may have been. There was some Twitter drama last night about the race format and whatnot. I think he was driving a little extra motivated last night. He looked really good.
They just want to qualify better. I really think that's it. I mean, they're rolling. Car's going to look great for Nationals. I cannot wait to see it. We talked about it on the broadcast with that throwback to Grandpa Levitt. So really cool. Dustin Selvage goes plus 8 to 8th. Watch out for Dustin Selvage, man. Like, you know how Caleb won the prelim night last year? I mean, you give Dustin Selvage a right spot, gets the draw right, kind of finds his way up through qualifying, heat races. I think Dustin Selvage could break a streak. I think he'd be a sneaky one to watch.
That'd be another popular one.
Yeah, absolutely. Very popular one. He had a really good video with Wade this past week. Him and his wife and his kids were all in it. Phenomenal video. It's like 35 minutes. Highly recommend watching it.
He won his 67th heat race of the year as well.
Yeah, he did. And I made way too big of a deal of it coming in the final lap. I'm like, well, here we go again. It's gonna be another heat race win. That's funny, man. I mean,
I still want another record. He's got to be pretty damn close to owning that record.
I need to get on Eric Arnold because I don't know how it takes so long to go back and track, but we've got to have somewhere. And then shout out Alex Vandervoort, plus 8 to 16th. Good run for Alex. Got up through the B main as well, worked his way into the top 4, drove it up there. So really good run for Alex. Yeah.
Pretty late he got into the transfer.
Yep. And I was very happy for Alex. So plus 8. I'd love to see the Mike Profit scheme every week. I mean, I hope maybe they run it for Nationals. I really like that car.
That would be cool.
But
because their season at Knoxville, because of part shortages and whatnot,
they didn't start till about halfway through, and I think they've settled in pretty well. So I'm happy.
He's run well with the Sprint Invaders. Had some bad luck there, but yeah, it seems like they're starting to get rolling right now, and it's good to see another local that having good runs.
I will say, car looks great anyway. It's designed by Dennis Gaining, so it's a great looking car. But very cool, awesome stuff
for sure.
Your 410s quick time qualifier was Rico Abreu. Let's talk about Rico Abreu real quick. Obviously, our winner, we'll get to him in a second, but dude goes out on Friday night on a track rental night. It had just rained. Track was very juiced up, and he runs a 14.251. If you don't know anything about the Knoxville Raceway, that's the track record by almost, a full tenth. So, my goodness, there was a really good video on his social media about the night, just kind of the whole process, the in-car. There's vapor trails coming off the nose wing. Like, it broke the land speed record is what he looked like. He was on the salt flats of Utah. That's what it looked like. Josh, they are locked in. I mean, we were talking about it coming in or walking in the infield last night. My 4, and I think your 4 for the Nationals are Rico, Larson, Gravel, Day. I think that's kind of a given. If you're going to rank them, I mean, why wouldn't you put Rico first? I mean, I know Larson's obviously won back-to-back. He's won 3 Nationals. But just based off what we've seen this season at Knoxville, you could tell Ricky Warner and them want this badly, and they are working their ass off to get it figured out.
You shared a pretty ominous stat for him, though, in your
I did.
preview.
Unfortunately, dating back to at least 2000, I'm going to go back here in the next couple days and go all the way back and see if I can find it. No driver since at least 2000 has won the final tune-up night before the Knoxville Nationals and gone on to win the Knoxville Nationals. So Rico will try to change that stat. It's interesting. I mean, you got to think a lot of the times it's an outlaw guy, so that takes an account for it. Obviously, he ain't probably going to race, but we've had a couple guys that have come in and have tried it, and they just can't seem to get it figured out. But I mean, like I said, Josh, they're doing everything they possibly can to get ready. And that was qualifying trim. That was, and mind you, that was qualifying trim.
For
but
sure.
still, I mean,
it's crazy.
That track record hasn't been close to being beat in a while.
I remember being there when Brown said it, and like, you're just hauling ass. Like, it's so fast.
I wish I could have seen it from the stands perspective.
And he pulled up he was looking at his watch.
Yeah.
Haha. He was looking at his watch, and he said that it told him that he hit 152 miles an hour.
Imagine going into, I wish Kade was here. Imagine going into turn 3 or turn 1.
Funny you mentioned that. I talked to Jack Anderson, and I was like, man, you're hauling ass. If you're hitting 152, and he brought up a great point. It's like, you're not at Eldora where you got that big banking to kind of catch you and help guide you around.
You just hope it goes.
Yeah, it's not quite Williams Grove, but I mean, it's kind of a paper clip, and you're just going so fast. And I think he said in his interview too, he was basically just sitting there. And like, I even said this last night. You saw Ricky Warner in shorts last night, not his, like, he's usually in black pants. It's like, oh shit, we're really in for a treat tonight if Ricky's wearing shorts.
He said, for those that aren't on video, but he put his elbows kind of up against his rib cage and he holds the wheel, and he just really didn't turn. And then when he said what it did, it just caught it. Like the right rear caught it and it just moved. I cannot imagine like how good it must have felt. I mean, like,
foot on the floor and you're just letting
glued. Yeah. And probably didn't lift. I mean, it's just like insane. Absolutely insane. Nobody was in the crowd to witness, but man, I'm happy that Toby was there with Sprint Car Hub. Good to see Toby back, but I think he's doing video for him, so that was a big part of it. Heck of a moment that unfortunately it won't count, but in Rico's mind, he knows that he technically now owns the track record in a way. At Knoxville, and boy, it'd be funny if he went out and just took it for the Nationals. I don't think that's going to happen just based off weather and whatnot, but kind of
this is definitely a real not hot take, but I think we definitely will look back if Rico's able to win the Nationals this year, look back and see how much commitment he's put in this year to running Knoxville, racing wise, and also just like he was saying in the video that like that test or the track rental, they basically were just worried about qualifying. Yeah. So if he's able to go out and, do quick time or something like that on his prelim night, it could be something that we look back and be like, maybe we'll start seeing more guys do it. Yeah. Because extra laps they're never a bad thing to get when you're coming into such a prestigious event.
That's what I was just about to say. You make a great point. If Rico pulls this off, people will be like, okay, so that's the blueprint. That's how we do it. You have to do what Rico did. Get here the first couple weeks, not only for Outlaws. Dude stayed an extra week. Like, he stayed an extra week, beat up on our guys, and then said, all right, take a break.
And is it something with the high limit flexibility that maybe that's something that we see as a benefit to high limit versus the Outlaws?
Yeah. And remember, during the second Outlaw stint, was pedestrian. I mean, he wasn't amazing in that second stint. Was Ricky Warner trying something? We don't really know, but it was just kind of one of those things that wasn't as good. But then he comes right back and he's lightning quick, land speed air record in track rental. So very cool. Happy for Rico Abreu. We had a really, really bad wreck in the B main. Arguably our worst wreck we've had this year, and we have gotten very lucky this year. We have not had a ton of very wild wrecks this season, but very scary wreck for Ian Madsen, Sawyer Phillips, Kobe Workmeister, and JJ Hickle. I think JJ just kind of got sideways going into the corner, and then Ian kind of ramped off the top, the nose wing of JJ, and Ian just took it was like a corkscrew. I mean, it was spinning and bouncing and all across. And I think the worst hit was when I think he landed on the ground with the cage first on the ground and then kind of backed up against the wall. I will say that cage looked pretty dang good after, and that's what Mike Roberts said on the infield. That cage held up. Obviously, we saw what can happen to a cage that doesn't quite hold up with Tyler Courtney. Ian was very slow to get out, hobbled back to the ambulance with the help of the safety crews. He woke up, and this morning I think he was maybe still in the hospital as of right now, but can move all of his extremities. Has been talking with doctors, nurses, everything else, and we hope for the best for Ian. But scary wreck, Josh. I mean, we've seen it, but again, I go back to that cage. It seems to have done its job.
Yeah, it looked like they just stacked up big time going into turn one, and like JJ kind of had nowhere to go, like you outlined it, and it just stacked from there. And you hate to see it, man, especially for anybody. First off, but especially with what Ian's come back from, and he's been open about it, reuniting with TKS, and really it seemed like they were starting to hit their stride. You know, he's been battling for podiums, had a chance at a couple wins, it looks like, and you just hope it doesn't derail that, you know, because it's a good story seeing him back in the States. It was cool seeing him back winning in Australia as well.
Yeah.
Wish nothing but the best for Ian, and what that means for his nationals. You know, honestly, that's kind of secondary at this point. You want to make sure that Ian's, you know, happy and healthy, and also just terrible luck for Sawyer Phillips.
He was trying to miss the wreck. Him and Kobe Workmeister were literally just trying to go to the outside, and they caught.
How many times has that happened this year? Like and with another Madsen, ironically, that, you know, he got into another not of his own doing, trying to avoid carry earlier this year, and that's 2 cars that are wrecked just from trying to avoid crashes. And you know, he had just picked up a win. I think it was Friday night, right? Sawyer did.
Hamilton County. Yeah, picked up a win at Hamilton County.
So I mean, hopefully that can kind of boost things, and just it's never a good time to crash, let alone going into, you know, the 2 biggest weeks of the season. Hopefully they can get something built back and be ready to go, because I know they were struggling last night in the 410. Just an all around bad deal, and yeah, like I was saying, best wishes to Ian. Hopefully he can get back on his feet very quickly.
James McFadden, really good run for him. I'm looking ahead. I don't know why I threw that together, but James McFadden finished top 5 in both features, so I'll just throw that in there. I skipped the 2. I don't know why I was looking down.
I mean, he had a good run in the 360. We didn't really touch on him much in the 360. So.
Yeah, I think James should be pretty happy. I mean, no surprise when he came over here, he won four races in 5 days with NARC, and goes out and does all that. So really good run for the Tarleton 21 car, looking sporty. I don't think they liked their speed when Tanner was in it here earlier this summer, and I think they found just a little something more. So I'm excited to see that for James. Like you said, top 5 in both features, was running well. Brian Brown took an early stab at Rico Abreu. Spencer Basin started on the pole, got the draw, the invert draw. I think it was a 6. So Spencer started on the front row. I think he ended up finishing top 10. So much needed run for Spencer Basin. But you knew when Rico was on the outside, Rico beat him to the flag stand. I mean, it was pretty much it. And I thought, all right, Rico's going to go. But here comes this Casey's 21 machine. I tell you what, Josh, Brian made it a duel there for a little bit. Eventually, Rico got by. But, boy, Brownies, they got that thing tuned up. It's ready. Yeah,
and the way that the cautions fell too, ended up having Rico get clean air, which is tough to beat anybody when they're in clean air. But yeah, the way Brian was able to drive that car, he just had a lot of forward speed that he was able to carry through the corners. And then he was kind of running some different lines. The middle kind of came in a little bit for a bit, just kind of running through the crumbs, and he could run almost like a modified diamond line, it looked like, there for a while. And that's when he was really at his best, catching Rico and gave him a test. And I don't know if that's when Rico was like, all right, it's time to get up on the wheel. And then he took off and left him. Who knows? But
Sat
I
up in his
think,
chair and was like, "All right, let's
yeah,
try
it's
this."
time to try now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I played with my food enough.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Brown's looking good. He's really come on the last few weeks,
Yeah,
and
yes. That
especially
16th
winning from
first.
16th. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that
I
kind of shows that they're back, and Chad's got that thing dialed up.
I was talking to Rick Rankin, and he was like, "That just doesn't happen, man. Like, I don't think people
Mm-mm.
fully grasped how big that was. Nobody goes from 16th to first. I mean, I had that stat with the Outlaws. At least nobody had come from ninth. Was really the farthest back they've come since at least 2017. So
Just because
the
how
fact
deep
that
the fields are, you got such
yeah,
good
and like
cars.
and I that was another thing that I wanted to say. We were one of the only sprint car races on in the country. Dirt Vision had issues, of course, but so people, I don't know if you saw that. Dirt Vision
Yeah,
you had to watch on YouTube. It
which was
wasn't
cool
on
that they did
YouTube.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Which originally it wasn't. So the Knoxville fans just kind of bullied Dirt Vision into putting it on YouTube. So finally they got it going. But a lot of people, I saw a lot of comments like, man, like people that don't usually watch weekly, the fields are stacked for 360 and 410. It's like, welcome to the show, guys. I
Pretty
mean,
much every
it
week.
is. We truly do. I think we have the best weekly show in the country. I don't think there's any debate personally. Yeah, that's gonna get me in some heat, but maybe I don't know. I truly do. I think we have one of the best weekly shows in the country, and I'm glad people were able to see that last night.
Yeah, I know
With how good.
people. PA. They there's the
Yes, yeah,
rivalries
yeah.
there. I think from a
I mean,
depth
nothing
perspective,
against
it's tough
PA.
to argue about it. I mean, do the PA guys tend to win a little bit more when the big guys are in town out in their tracks? Yeah, they do.
I'm not making this about Knoxville locals.
No,
I mean,
not at
and that's
all.
not what I'm saying. I'm just
Yeah, it's
saying
just
that
the depth of the
the
fields are so
outsiders that
good.
come in, yes, yeah,
Yeah, because the locals are good here also,
yes,
and so when you do bring in those invaders, it's just damn tough to make the feature
yeah,
every night, and we're a little spoiled. We got great facilities, a great racetrack itself, surface, and some of the biggest names in the sport showing up damn near every week. It's a great place to be, man.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Rico Abreu wins the race. We kind of talked about it there early, but they got it figured out. He's rolling. Going to be excited to watch. Best looking car on the track, man. That wine car. I love that car. Really good car. Riley Goodnow goes +9 to 13th. Riley has really been moving here the last couple weeks. They should be very happy with the 360 and 410 program.
Yes.
Chris Martin goes +7 to 14th. Jack Anderson ends up 9th. I think he started 13th or so. So good.
Happy
run.
for him to they finally were able to get a night together.
Back under your belt.
Yep. And if you look at the guys that he did beat, Jack beat Justin Peck, Cy Lynch. There's a couple, and Tanner Holmes. That's 3 high limit guys right there. And the little team that we were kind of chatting about last week.
I tell you what, man,
he races really, really well.
10 Nationals. I think Jack could put himself in a position to get into the feature.
I agree. Just because, like I was saying there, he races really well. He's been getting valuable laps this year, and it's cool seeing how much he's grown.
Yeah. You want to do outside of Knoxville recap, then do our 360 just kind of mini thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Wasn't a lot of racing this week.
No.
Obviously, with Eldora, we were racing every day. So our outside of Knoxville segment might be about 5 minutes here instead of an hour.
I mean, it was an hour last week, so
that is true. We appreciate everyone for watching. I think numbers were pretty good,
Yes.
and great comments on Facebook and social media. We read, at least I read every single one of them. So
Yep.
Really cool to see. For high limit, Carson Macedo uses his final freebie of the year at Lernerville, and it pays off. So the Macedos are really good when it pays off and goes and runs high limit. It was Carson Macedo's first ever high limit win. Held off Tanner Thorson and Cy Lynch. Good run for Cy Lynch. I believe that is his best career finish with high limit. And the Tanner Thorson's just been so close. I do not think they had the speed they wanted to last night at Knoxville, but it's a half mile. I don't think Tanner Thorson's ever been a big half mile guy. But the big talk, Josh, was these medical provisionals. Aaron Reitzel and Brad Sweet both missed, so they get medical provisionals. And Justin Fiedler made a good point. Rico and Brent Marks really didn't do enough to catch back up to him. And did you know the whole, is it like if they ran 13th, like that's about the points that they were given?
Yeah, the way I understood it was, and this is just going off, speaking of Justin, it was just going off of his explanation of it.
Yep,
so
yep.
I could be getting this not quite as clear, but the way it was explained there was that they get their feature average finishing position and then moved back 5 positions. So like if you averaged 10th, you would have gotten points for 15th.
And they both averaged 7th, so I think they were 13th.
Yeah, and I think I mean, when you have so many races, and honestly, just to call a spade, when you have a pretty dangerous sport, you need to have something where you can kind of protect your guys to
Yes.
not just completely ruin their season if they get in an accident and have to miss a few races. It does work out pretty well for them that that was the only race between now and when they pick back up after nationals.
Yeah.
So like, still kind of murky on what happened with Brad. It has been
Yeah,
pretty
we don't
hush
even
hush.
know if he's gonna be at 360 Nationals.
Yeah,
We're just really not sure.
but you know that Reitzel, he broke his foot
I don't
and
think he'll be racing.
had surgery. So he had
Yeah.
successful surgery. The team announced he would have
And they
been
didn't give
missing.
a timetable, but
No,
I don't think he's
it's
racing,
yeah
which
for his
sucks.
own sake and just making sure everything is healed well. It probably would be best if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Racers want to race though, man, and especially it
Oh, I'd
sucks
love to
so
see him race.
much the way that he was the points leader in both
Yeah, got up to one
midweek,
point. Yeah, midweek, and it's just wrong
having a
place.
hell of a season. And I mean, even three of the four or three of the top five in high limit were taken out at
Gone.
Eldora, which sucks a lot because that was really shaping up to be the only battle in national sprint car 410 racing, you know, with gravel just completely walking away with the outlaw championship right now. Um, all that said, getting back, it was cool. Tanner Thorson, he has been running really, really, really well on most tracks here lately. They've got that 88 rolling, and it was good. Cy Lynch really needed that. I know TLP afterwards talked about how they desperately needed a good finish. It's
Yeah,
cool seeing it back at home, also in front of the PA fans. They were giving him some love, and even Cole Duncan filling in for Tyler Courtney
yeah, that was
for
cool.
the one night. He had a
He's a
great
really good driver out there, man.
he is
That was
had
a
a
good
great
pick.
interview. I liked how
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
Chase had him in the booth before, I think kind of during the fan fest or something like that. Had a really good chat with him. I didn't realize just how close they were,
yeah,
him and Tyler and I think Jake, the crew chief. So that was cool. Had a good night. Not anything special. I think he finished 11th, started 11th, but rolled it back in, did his job. You know, got owner points for the 7BC, and now it's Gio Selzy's turn to finish it out.
I wanted to talk about that. So yeah, we did have a couple driver changes officially. Giovanni Selzy is going to take over the 7BC for the rest of the season. I think a lot of people probably saw that coming. We didn't really know what Gio's plans were, but to get him back in the car that quick, and I was very surprised we didn't see him last night. Like I thought for sure we'd see him. Maybe he'd want to get one in, but it sounds like 360 Nationals will be his first go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be curious to see that. And then really happy for Emerson Axum. Emerson Axum takes over in the 18. I don't think it was a great night for him with the Outlaws. I don't exactly know where he finished, but but still great to see Emerson Axum in the 18. It sounds like they're just going to put that 27 car on the shelf and just kind of wait until Emerson comes back, if whatever comes out of the 18 ride. But yeah, cool to see Emerson Axum in the 18.
I
So
think he needed a provisional 26th.
yeah,
He
yep,
did go 26th to 20th. I know that
good.
was a crazy race in there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
But yeah, great opportunity for him.
And we get to see him for nationals. So I'm excited to see what happens there for Emerson Axum. Again, congrats to Carson McCarl on the win. Starting to roll here late, Josh. I mean, just quickly touch on it, but won the Brad Doty. I mean, Carson McCarl's getting hot at the right time, sneakily.
Yeah, I mean it's no surprise. We know how good he is, and
Yes.
that was his first high limit couple. What was it? Yeah, two Macedo's getting their first high limit wins
Yeah, rolling
in
here.
back-to-back weeks, so that's pretty cool. We'll see what he's got here. You know, it's been
It's
a roller
always hit or
coaster
miss
lately
at
with the
at
41,
Knoxville.
which you
Yeah.
expect to see up front more often. But it's no doubt that he is one of the contenders pretty much week in and week out wherever they show up.
Won his prelim night a couple years ago, the year that he caught on fire, because he drove the fire car. I'm excited to see what car they roll out for nationals. I
Yeah.
kind of hope it's bright green again. Like I like the black and the green, but I like it when it's bright green. I think it's to really lean into the all ball colors.
For sure.
I think him and Chase should have matching cars. I think that'd be pretty cool with all ball. But you put a horse on the side. Imagine putting a horse on the side of the car. That'd be crazy. Well, you could put anything that all ball owns on the
Yeah,
side of
for
the
sure.
car. World of Outlaws, Anthony Macri continues his hot streak.
That's the concrete king to you, Blake.
Concrete King, yeah. Well, I didn't say Concrete Kid, but yeah, lean
I know,
into
but
it.
you got to
Concrete
treat
King.
it's royalty that you're talking about here, so get it
Concrete
right, please.
King. Keep an eye on Anthony here for Knoxville Nationals, man. I mean, I know Knoxville hasn't been his playground, but not many people were saying that about Eldora too. So We're going to have a lot of chats next week, especially on our stage show. I think we'll be talking about Anthony Macri a little bit. Gets past David Gravel, who's been hot in the news here recently, to pick up his second World of Outlaws win in a row. So Anthony Macri is rolling. I remember it took him a while to win that first Outlaws win back in like 2022, 2023. And now it's like he's a threat everywhere he goes. And then Bill Baylog rounds out the podium. A good run for the North Pole Nightmare over there. I'm excited to see Bill here at Knoxville. I know he wants revenge after that previous Outlaw show here when he got caught up in that wreck with Brown and just kind of set him off. But there was drama on a restart. Danny Dietrich and Logan Schuchart, they got together. Danny Dietrich basically saying that the restarts are a mess and that everybody jumps the back half of the field in the restarts. And they had a kerfluffle and Logan Schuchart and whatever. And Danny was cursing on camera, but did say afterwards, he's like, I apologize. So shout out Danny Dietrich, bringing it up. Yep, he was legit, sincere about it. Danny Dietrich's great, man. I think he's so good for Pennsylvania. He's so good for the sport. But I tell you what, he's not wrong. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, I think. These restarts are pretty crazy. And the jumping in the back especially, I mean, it happens. Danny called him out.
That's where it's weird. It's murky because tracks can have their own rules, and then I need to brush up and see what the actual outlaw and or high limit rule is, because the jumping gets thrown around, but I'm not sure if that's truly what's happening, because the way it was explained, if you remember when we went back about a month or so ago now, and there was a whole ordeal. It may have actually been with the Outlaws when Brown, advanced a couple rows on a restart. The way I understand it is that once the front row has to be side by side and they have to fire at the line. And once they go, it's game on. And if, they go and somebody passes 3 rows in the back, that's not a jump because of the way that the rules are. Is that right? I don't know. As a driver, I saw multiple responses to that little, I think it may have been the Pit Bull, because Dietrich was on with Nick Hoffman and did the Dirt Vision Pit Bull podcast. And they're not a fan of like throwing around going back to single file restarts. I think Cale Thomas, I saw, responded in a thread. It can get crazy. You have more room at Knoxville, but not really necessarily, just because you're going so fast and it gets tight. But yeah, you go to these smaller tracks, man, it's tough. And I think he just kind of got Feder right rear. They never really had a great replay of it. I think he just was there and somebody was going to fill a hole and boom, he was upside down and not happy about it.
I think Ashton reposted the video or posted the video on quote tweeting this, and he's like, this is pretty simple, and it's just the video of Brad Sweet and TK sitting, and Brad Sweet's going after TK on the restart, and all TK says is leader goes, you go. And I think that's about as good as it gets. I mean, and
that was Zach Hampton's response as well, because Dietrich threw some shade at him for saying that he wasn't passing anybody under green.
What was
he was doing
so
it all
funny,
under yellow.
I don't know if you saw this. Yeah, there was that stuff. So on Twitter this last couple days, it's so annoying. People have been putting at Grok or whatever the Twitter AI, and they're like, who is the most famous person to see my profile? And Zach Hampton did that, and Grok said Danny Dietrich.
It was funny. So funny.
You can't script that, man. That's about as good as that gets. Yeah. So that was really funny. But I always think of TK's words. He's like, leader goes, you go. And then he said something else, and then he went, wah, wah, wah. But
because what do you think about the single file versus double file? I think from a fan's perspective, the double file are definitely more entertaining.
Anytime the Outlaws go double file and then they get wherever, I can't remember the rule exactly, but then they're like, we got to go single file. Yeah. I'm like, dang it. I was like, I love double file. If it was up to me, we go double file the whole night. But I mean, single file puts together good racing because it's mind games. When you go into turn one, it's like, who's going to go high, who's going to go low. That cone on the front stretch makes a big difference. I mean, there are some nights where I'm like, how in the world did they all make it?
Cale Thomas brought up also, it gives you a better chance of getting into lap traffic quicker.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's very true. Yes, that's very true. So, especially when they probably had a lot of provisionals, everything else. So. And
which is another subject in and of itself.
Yeah, it is. Provisionals have been a big subject, and maybe we can bring that up next week with a couple of our guests. I think that'd be very interesting, actually. So I don't know, man. I like double file restarts. Single file is fine. At the short tracks, it's kind of funny because like they'll come off of turn number 4 and you can see the guy over in turn 2, and it's like, yeah, we're catching the tail end. But Unfortunately, World of Outlaws rained out at Williams Grove the last 2 nights. People have not been happy with Williams Grove of how they've handled that whole thing, but they've gotten a lot of rain. It's been tough anyway. So it has been a rough year for rain with the Outlaws and High Limit.
Mother Nature definitely has not been a
Yeah, we've
World of
gotten lucky
Outlaws
here in
fan.
Knoxville just once.
Yeah, we have it, like mentioned earlier that there was one big rain cloud where I happened to be talking to Carson at the moment. And we looked up and it was like, man, I hope that thing just splits us or just like get out of here because
Yeah,
we've been lucky for sure.
yeah, absolutely. All right, Josh. Well, Cade's not here, so we'll get his picks later, but we will write them down. Our 360 Nationals this week. I mean, we can preview, but I don't really want to preview because you and I are going to do our own separate things. So if you
we
want
didn't
to
mention that, by the way.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake and I, we've been spitballing things. We got a lot of stuff happening here in the next couple weeks.
Almost every day you're probably going to see a video.
Yeah, probably. We make sure you're tuned into the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit like on this video, by the way. Leave us a comment on your picks as well. We want to hear who you guys think are gonna win the 360 and the 410 Nationals. But Blake and I, we're going to be putting out. He's going to be skipping his usual daily preview videos. We're going to put together at least for Thursday and Friday this week, previews for the prelim nights of the 360 Nationals. So those will be on YouTube only. So make sure you check out our YouTube channel.
But what we can do is we can make our picks. So we're going to make picks for Thursday night, Friday night, and then our overall champion for the 360 Nationals. Well, we can't do picks for the Cappy, unfortunately, just because we won't know who's there. But we're going to try to put something out Sunday just kind of as a feeler, just kind of I don't know. There's going to be a lot of videos. We're going to recap 360 Nationals in some short form. But then I was also thinking about, Josh, we're also going to want to save a lot of our thoughts for Wednesday. So
definitely.
I mean, it'll be interesting. We're thinking as I'm literally talking.
Pretty much. We will have our Jetco trailer talks though. At the very least, those will be coming out
try to catch the winner of every night if we can.
Every night. Yep.
All right, Josh. Well, I mean, let's see here. So we have our list here for Thursday and Friday.
Good luck.
If you want,
Thursday.
these lists are on social media. Yep, these lists are on social media. So we're just gonna go one pick for each night. I'll let you first for Thursday. A couple notable names here for Thursday night. It is a very stacked night. Chase Randall, Dason Pursley, Sam Haferteep Jr., Jack Anderson, Tanner Holmes, James McFadden, Kade Higday, Kerry Madsen, Kyle Larson, Ian Madsen. Says Aaron Reitzel. Doubt Aaron Reitzel will be racing. Austin McCarl, Matt Covington. So very stacked night on Thursday night. I think Thursday night will be the better of the two. But what do you think, man?
Well, Blake,
you're the first pick. You can take him.
I'm going to really go out on a limb. I'm taking a big risk here and picking the white 57, Kyle Larson.
There you go. That's a good pick. So you're going to go with Kyle Larson. I'm very curious, man. It's a 360. Doesn't race 360 very often. I mean, I don't know. I could see a world where it shows up and it's average.
If I knew Reitzel was racing, I was just going to take him because I would selfishly want to see that. I'm really bummed because I don't think he's going to be racing. Don't know that for sure, so don't hold us to it. Because, oh my God, could you imagine a Larson versus Reitzel battle? Oh, it would have been so good.
Give me Austin McCarl.
That's a good one too.
Very good speed. So I was happy with him last couple of weeks, and he didn't run a 360 last night. I want to think it's because they're very happy with their 360.
I would imagine so.
So yeah, and then Kade. Who knows who Cade's gonna pick?
Cade picks Kade Higday.
Yeah,
we're gonna put him down.
Higday, so there's a good one. All right, Friday night. Who you got? Let's see.
First.
Who we got? Yeah, so on Friday, some notables: Tasker Phillips, Darren Pittman is in the 3. Who else we got here? Giovanni Scelzi, Casey Kane, Tyler Gronendijk, Brian Brown, Rico Abreu, Brad Sweet, again, tentatively, Clint Garner, and everybody else, Parker Price Miller. I'm going to swing for the fences. Giovanni Scelzi is going to win his first night in the 7BC.
Okay. That is the defending 360 Nationals
champion car. I said that on
car.
my preview. The 7BC defending 360 champion car, like you just said, won earlier this year in a 410 at Knoxville.
He's a 360 Nationals champion.
Yeah, Gio is fast at Knoxville. I don't hate it. So give me Gio.
Easy for you to say. I'm going to you know what, Blake?
Oh no.
I wasn't sure. I'm going to pick the 2025 360 track champion and go with Tasker Phillips.
I like it.
we're going to burn the place down on Friday night because Tasker's going to win and everybody's going to be partying at the one Taz machine.
We didn't pick Rico, but that's just kind of how it is. But
yeah, I mean,
think
it's
Brian Brown. I mean,
I did not want to go Kyle Larson and Rico. That would have not been fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to
we
give
could
you a little chance.
We got to save a couple for Kade. I mean, we got to give him a chance, clearly. But Brian Brown, I think, will be a tough beat, obviously. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. Dennis Gainey still has a car that has not been filled, the 6T. Caleb said he's not racing. He's going to Peevely, so it's not going to be Caleb in the car. So it's a TBD, and then Eikenberry's 25 car. We're still not sure who's going to be in that car. So worth noting.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And then who you got for the championship? You can pick one that you've already picked if you want to.
Oh, boy. I haven't really put much thought into it, to be honest.
I haven't either.
I think it's going to be a hell of a race.
Yeah, I think
no
it's
matter what.
Good. Yeah,
I think that. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to not pick like Rico or Larson.
Yeah. You just don't know. Like, I mean, they're so fast in a 410, but what does the 360 look like? I mean, Rico, I don't think ran a 360 at all this year. I mean, you just don't know. They're gonna be fast. I'm not saying they're not going to, but you just don't know.
I got
mine.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick Larson because it's the easy one. And I think the motivation of he's actually getting a run at this year and has the chance to potentially go to win another 410 Nationals, potentially be the first and only guy to do both in the same year.
Stat?
Huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, the third driver, excuse me.
Well, so would be the third. Danny Lazowski and Sammy Swindell are the only ones to win both. Nobody's ever won it in the same year.
Same year. That is what I was getting at.
I didn't want to get people
because we did have that stat too.
Larson is still going for history if he can get it done. Boy, that would be unbelievable. Like, I don't think people would truly grasp how crazy that would be.
No, just because of how easy he makes things look.
Yeah,
like you have to have so much go right.
Kyle Larson thing. Yeah.
You have to have so much go right in 1 week, let alone both.
And mind you, I mean, he's doing NASCAR all the time, but that'd be 2 straight weeks double duty with NASCAR because obviously Saturday and everything else. I don't think he's going to run the Cappy just because NASCAR's that afternoon. He could make it, but if that bridge wasn't closed, I think it'd be a lot easier for him. But what are you going to do? I'm going to go Brian Brown. I think Brian Brown wins the 360 Nationals. I think the speed, his confidence, I mean, I saw it firsthand. Dude's got confidence right now, and I think it's for good reason. They have got that thing rolling. Car looked fast last night, and I think Brian Brown wants to add another. And these 360 Nationals mean a lot to him. Obviously, he'd love to win the big one, but I like Brian Brown to get the job.
You think he's going to get his third, huh?
Yeah, I think he is. I think, nothing will top that second one. I mean, that was just unbelievable. That was one of the greatest finishes of all time at Knoxville. But, yeah, I like Brian Brown to get the 360 Nationals champion. So. And you never know. I mean, he's always a factor for 410 Nationals. I'll be curious to see what happens. But
yeah, and honestly, looks as good as he has here recently going into 410 Nationals as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Watch out for the 21.
I'm picking Austin McCarl on Thursday. Josh is picking Kyle Larson on Friday. I'm taking Giovanni Scelzi, and Josh is taking Tasker Phillips. And then for my champion, I'm taking Brian Brown, and Josh is taking Young Money Kyle Larson. We'll wait and see who Kade's picks are. I guarantee one of them will probably be Rico, but might have to tweet those out.
He'll probably just go, Rico across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we already picked Kade for himself, so he's got himself.
That is true.
Thursday.
So his Thursday pick is Kade Higday. Sorry about it. We had a chance to sit down with Carson McCarl. I think one of our better chats we've had this year, Josh. Really cool sitting down with Carson coming off his 360 shootout win and 8th place finish last night at the Knoxville Raceway. Let's head down trackside and have a chat with Carson McCarl.
I know I do that podcast with those guys, but I'm not good at it. You guys listen.
Carson McCarl joins us tonight here on the Knoxville Nights podcast here after the Weiler Nights, our Candy Dash Nights. Carson, let's talk about your night. How'd you end up?
Ended up 8th.
There you go. So another top 10 for you.
Yeah, we were solid. We had a tough group of qualifying, was able to qualify 4th, and it kind of went out late, so I was happy with that. Went 5th to 4th in the heat race, kind of dropped back to 6th, was able to get by a couple guys. And honestly, I thought that would have. I kind of, forgot about the split qualifying and the points and everything. The point deal here is brutal, and I kind of thought I'd be, right up there. Yeah. And then I went and looked at the thing, and I'm starting 9th. I'm like, that's not that good. But brought it home in one piece. Was able to battle with some guys. Just stayed committed to the bottom and brought it home in one piece.
like we were talking about, kind of walking over here, the track with the humidity, it definitely looked like it was locked down a little bit. It was still pretty quick.
For sure.
Do you think you kind of got about as much as you could have, just the way things played
For
out?
sure. I mean, I thought about like moving up and trying the top, especially down here in 3 and 4. It was a lot smoother than 1 and 2 kind of was. But and them knocking that down before the race started, I was happy with that. I thought that would maybe kind of give it a chance to get a little racier, and some guys, at least up front, you know, could make it work in clean air. But just you know, every time someone would go to the top, I'd get them on the bottom. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay down here. And me and Kerry had a good battle back and forth. I was able to get by him late, and Baston was right there too. And I just kind of showed my nose a little too soon to Baston, and he seemed to move down. And then Kerry was able to burn one on the top and get back by me. And then it was just rip the bottom and bring it home after that.
Do you have any expectations for what Nationals might look like? Obviously, for 360 Nationals, it's only going to be 70. I mean, it's not going to be very warm. The humidity will be a little bit different. Do we expect what we've kind of seen late in the year, or you think we're just going to see something else? Because they have to prep it different for a track like Nationals.
For sure. I don't know. I think last year during the 360 Nationals, especially Saturday, it was super hot and super humid. Sounds like that's not going to be the case this year. But
thank goodness.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I got to wear that suit around.
I feel it.
But I don't know. The track during the Nationals is so much different than it is, I feel like, during the regular season.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I feel like guys, you know, like these outlaw guys, which they're the best in the world anyways, but I feel like they can adapt so quick because they don't, you know, we kind of have our notebook, we have our standard setup, and, you know, if it's been working, you don't want to, you know, divvy from that, you know, right before the biggest race of the year.
Yeah, sure.
So, and it gets kind of weird and greasy. So I think tonight was actually a bigger Nationals prep than you can probably get, just because that August air can get so humid, and the bottom, when it does that, and there's, you know, juice on the bottom, which it did rain earlier today, it just gets better and better as the night goes on. So I think tonight was actually kind of a solid Nationals test for what it can easily do. But I think it's going to be a lot slicker than usual and kind of give us a little more normalcy of a racetrack at the 360 and the 410 Nationals. And I think that'll hopefully help me and the rest of the local guys.
I was just going to ask to follow up on that. How do you kind of prepare for that? Like you were saying, where the guys that travel nationally might have a little bit of a leg up, deeper notebook for different track styles. Like how, if you kind of get into not a rut, but you kind of know what a weekly track is like here, how can you prepare for, you know, the Nationals style racetrack?
That's why tonight was, you know, because it was just kind of, the Nationals the last couple of years can get kind of like that greasy bottom where, you know, when you try to Davey Heskin, beat your left front up on the berm, you know, you'd be shocked about how much I think about it when I run the bottom.
When you think of the bottom, you think of Davey Heskin or Dan Lazar.
Absolutely, and you think about coming off super straight down off of 2 there. So that, you know, that's how I like to run it, and it can get so greasy down there. It gets, you know, where there's a lot of juice, but you just can't hold it. You know, you just
all your speed.
you just slip and slide all around, and so I mean, I don't, obviously racing weekly here doesn't hurt. You know, having more laps at any racetrack when the Outlaws come in is going to help, but those guys are all so good, and everyone's got great equipment and on the hammer. So I mean, I don't think racing here weekly gives you too much of an advantage come Nationals time.
I was just going to say, it feels like every Saturday for the last month, it has rained Saturday morning. So it's just been interesting how it's played into track prep. Obviously, we'll see what happens for 360 Nationals and whatnot, but I think the Duncans have done a good job. So.
Oh, I think the Duncans have done a great job. I definitely don't want to. I don't want to come off like I was.
We always say that. We're like, anytime we talk about track surface, we're never saying the Duncans.
We know how good we've got it here.
We are.
Sure.
No, yes, for the fans at home, it rained this morning, and you know, during August, sometimes it just gets super humid. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. But I thought last week for getting that rain in the morning, the track was great. I mean, it's really hard when. You know, when you get water like that, to give the 360 guys, especially a top to run. Because if the bottom's just any good at all, like you probably saw tonight, you know,
never left.
Exactly, you know, and he shouldn't have. You know, when the bottom's got juice like that in the 360, the shortest way around is always going to be the place to go. So, like last week, and then I think they did as much as they possibly could tonight. I mean, we're looking at the track right now. I mean, it's definitely hard there through the center, and kicking down that berm or you know, that curb on the top, I think helps. So. No, I think they've been doing great this year. We've had more races with multiple grooves this year than I feel like we have in a while.
And do you think kicking the curb down like that has been part of the reason we've been seeing that? Because it feels like they've been doing that a lot more this year than maybe they have in the past.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it widens the track out way more. And it could get, especially 1 and 2, get so ledgy that, no one's, if it's that far around and it's a huge ledge and slick to it, no one's really going to run up there. I mean, you might get some Corey Day type, or, Ryan Timms, is going to go beat it down. But, the bottom is probably going to be, and the bottom's probably going to be better. There's not a lot of grip. So they knock that down and flatten it out, and you can get your right rear right in the juice. And I feel like this makes it way better and makes better racing.
Heck of a week for you last week. $15,000, biggest win of your career. Walk us through it. I mean, obviously you don't really run a 360 much here, so obviously you guys had to feel pretty confident about your package going into last week. Just walk us through the night, and I mean, you won probably one of the most fun races we've seen this year.
Well, I'm just trying to put on a show.
Make it a little bit.
Mission accomplished.
We are, at the end of the day, we're just entertainers out here.
business.
But no, I mean, that went just, really well, obviously. I knew right from the beginning we had a great car. Moyle engines, we don't run it a ton, but it was ripping. And, qualifying, we had a good qualifying draw. I was able to qualify really well. I was bummed Garner got me because I think it was $1,000 for.
It was close.
Yeah, which I guess I can't get greedy. But at the time, I was bummed. I was like, damn, that would have been all right. But no, it worked out perfect. Tasker and Clint kind of got away from me early. And, I found the top in 3 and 4 and felt really nice. And then I just had to figure out what I was going to do in 1 and 2. I just, it was kind of ledgy up there, but not terrible. And when I would run the top, it was pretty good. And then I tried diamonding it, and then I just went full tilt commit to the bottom. And that's when, we got the traffic and I was able to get by them. And then, was able to get the lead on lap 18, I think it was. So those extra laps definitely didn't hurt at all.
Walk us through the backstretch incident.
Oh, okay. Honestly, so we had that restart. I took off on the top, and you got to be careful when you, when you go to the bottom on a restart leading, because even if the bottom's better, you got to slow down so much. It's especially in the 360. It's easy for a guy, and I was running the bottom of 1 and 2 and the top of 3 and 4 the whole race, and just was coming off the bottom and going to the top. Was I kept kind of getting a little tight every once in a while, so I was like, I'll just enter a little off of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm zipping and saying it. I'm like, I never saw him. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And it was obviously Clint, but he was upset, I think, obviously, and I was upset at first too. I was, because I thought
you didn't know how much it damaged the car.
Well, absolutely, can easily. I thought for sure I was going to get a flat, or I can't believe something wasn't broke either. And Austin can only see the tire. So I slowed down and I was like, hey, okay or not. And he gave me the thumbs up. So I'm like, all right, we're good. But no, I got a lot of respect for Clint. We've been racing with each other for, I'm getting kind of old. We've been racing with each other for a long time. And talked to his dad earlier today, and we shook hands. And
that's what he was telling me. He's like, well, I talked with Carson.
Yeah, no, we're all good. And, I've been racing with Clint long enough. I think he knows I don't race that way, and he doesn't race that way either. I feel like we both have shown each other a lot of mutual respect over the years, and we'll continue to. It's just a racing deal, and I'm just glad that we were able to get through it and get the win.
We had talked about it too. We've seen instances this year, going into 3 where people do just turn, one way or the other, and the guy goes for a ride. At the end of the day, you guys are racing for $15,000, and you both wanted it.
Yeah, no, I was just going to the top. I didn't know he was there at all. Yep. And then watching the video, he just had a huge run and just kind of put himself in a little bit of a bad spot, and it just didn't. It was just a racing deal. I mean, that's how those guys felt, and I mean that's how I feel. Like I would never crash anybody on purpose ever. Right. I'm not good enough to crash somebody and not crash myself.
I mean, the risk.
That's what was funny about all these people on Facebook and stuff. Like, he crashed him. I'm like, I don't know how to crash somebody without flying through the billboards myself. Are you kidding me? But no, we're all good, and I look forward to racing with him, the rest of the week.
Walk us through the restart, because Austin got you off 4, I think, for 1 lap. Because Austin did. He led 1 lap, and then you were able to get him right back. Were you thinking about how you wanted to go about that restart? Because it was about a 5-lap shootout pretty much, and then once you got past him, you were in clean air and gone.
Yeah, I just I felt like my motor kind of stumbled. The first one I took off, kind of about right where that NOS energy drink sign is. Yep. And, it didn't really fire off until about right there. And, I'm plugged into the top. So I was on the second one. I decided to kind of start in the middle. And it's just good to always change up your starts anyways. And then I did not want the 88 car behind me at all. That was the last guy I wanted to see. And I just was able to get a good start, and I had a feeling he was probably, like, if Gardner got that good of a run, he was going to too. So, I just went straight to the top, and then here he comes. I was like, here we go, game on. And, was just able to time stuff good. Was able to, when he slid me, I was able to kind of stay in it for as long as I could and keep my speed up and not drive across the slick, and was able to get a good run. And I had a feeling he was going to throw the blocker. So, luckily made the right decision and went straight to the top. And was able to plug it there and then come off. And then after I slid him by here, I feel like I drove across so hard and so nice that I was like, okay, I had to clear him by a mile. And then, once I went through 1 and 2 and didn't see him, and we went through 3 and 4, and he went to slide me, and I was able to power around it. Like, once he missed that slider, I figured that would kind of kill his momentum. And, I knew we were probably fine after that. But it seems like every time I win these last couple of years,
I was just about to say,
it's always him. I would rather battle with somebody else.
What is that like? Is the story true that you won your first 410 race last year? That he didn't say much to you after? Or was it
no.
And also, what was said after last week?
Oh, I got a high five after last week.
Oh, we need the drama.
No, I got a high five after last week.
The tail was that Austin just said, congrats.
So that is what happened.
For the 410 one.
Yeah, for the 410 one last, which, I did pass him basically coming right for the checkered. He hadn't won a race
lap,
here.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the last lap. And he hadn't won a race yet there that year. And it was just a lot for him to process, I guess. But so it was fun. No, the story is, and this is true. So we go back to the shop. I was still working out at their shop at the time. And we were going to Houston the next day. So we're swapping everything around, washing up, doing all that jazz. And, it's like 3 a.m. and we're going to our cars, and I just get a good job tonight. But Austin, that's just Austin. He's super competitive. That's what was really funny when people were like, oh, he let you win. I was like, I promise you, he's not going to let anyone win, and especially not me. Not a chance. But no, last week was a little different, so it worked out good.
And anybody that has been following Knoxville knows the McCarl name. Your grandfather, your dad, obviously you and your brother. What is that like? You've had races where all 3 of you are together. Do you like that?
I don't know. I'm so used to it now. We've been doing it for so long, us 3.
I've heard your dad say that he doesn't like.
He doesn't
like when you and Austin are together.
He doesn't like racing us. He always tells this story. It was like me, him, and Austin. We were at I-80. It's a big, banked, slick place up on the fence, and we're just throwing haymakers on each other. And he was like, "This is insane. Like, I can't."
You and your dad had a moment earlier this year. I remember by the Hall of Fame. I think you threw a.
I didn't think that was that close.
It was pretty damn close.
I came in.
It was pretty close.
I came in, and his crew guy's like, not really. I was like, what? I didn't think that was that bad. But no, I'm just so used to it now that it's really no big deal. I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather not, like when we're all 3 in the same heat race. The problem is, my dad's my hero. Austin's my best friend. I want them to also do good.
Yeah. And when you're race together, y'all.
No, it's every man for himself. We're all trying to pay our bills here. So no, that part gets a little old. And of course, Austin switched his prelim night for the 410s to Wednesday when I go.
And I hope you will end up.
We'll in the same heat.
Absolutely. We'll have the tweet ready.
Yep.
And
we all know the
he's got it scheduled. So, but no, I'm used. It is what it is, and hopefully we get to keep doing it for a little while longer.
It's cool that you guys get to do that, making memories.
Oh, for sure.
Do you still learn stuff from your dad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just is he still? There's still lessons to be learned, and that he's always helping you guys out.
Oh, absolutely. My dad's got critiques for me every time I come into the racetrack. Are you kidding me? We won that race, and I got a call after, last week, and I get a call. He's like, watch the video. There's definitely some stuff we can clean up here. And I'm like, oh my God, I won the thing. I think it's all right. But no, he's just got obviously a wealth of knowledge, and Austin too. He's been racing for a long time too. And, is doing a lot more traveling. And I think Austin's a really great mechanic and has helped me become a better mechanic. Just like growing up, I was the guy, I was the kid out in the 4-wheeler, screwing off. He was actually in the shop learning about race cars. It wasn't until I was about, 15, 16, when I
Got
started
it.
doing it myself and nobody else was going to build the car for me, I was like, I got to start, Googling some shit. Start, getting the old tape out, see what that's all about. But, so, and also Austin's a great mechanic and has helped me a ton with not only becoming a better mechanic, but, like setting up, getting my stuff set up nice. That's why I think he gets so mad when I beat him, because he's like, why did I help this idiot?
Yeah.
Last thing on your dad, do you have any memories that stick out when you were younger, whether that be celebrating victory lane with your dad or anything that stand out? Because obviously he's had a historic career, a Hall of Famer at multiple tracks, Hall of Famer in general. Does any stand out, when you were younger celebrating?
There's too many to pick from. Man, I don't know. I was spoiled as a kid. Growing up. I hope people don't take this the wrong way. It's just the way. Like growing up, I mean, we'd win at least one race a weekend.
Yeah.
Whether it was here or Houston or so. I mean, I just thought that's how it was. I thought I'd get it. Yeah, I just thought I would start doing this. I'm like, well, I'm gonna win every week. He did.
Easy.
So I had the greatest childhood. I mean, I always say if I get super rich one day, I'm gonna like donate all to children's charity, because I had like the perfect American childhood, going racing, in the motorhome. Dad was winning all the time. It was just the whole thing was a ton of fun. And but a specific win that I don't know. I tell you what, I never watched the 2004 Knoxville Nationals. I never watched that one. That one stinks. That's the one that first came to mind. I'm like, that I'm most pissed about still.
Do you remember being here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like 9 years old, up in the suite, hyperventilating, and then we sealed our tire and ran fifth, and I'm still pissed about it. But
Were you helping Austin flag up in the suite?
no, I didn't flag.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I would always, just to piss him off, this was like I would always steal his white flag.
Oh,
Like that was
man.
my thing, and then he would flip out. If anyone knows Austin, he's pretty animated, and you should have saw him as a fat 10-year-old. It was pretty hilarious. And so I would just mess with him like that. But no, I never got into flagging.
So you went through your own struggles, over the years. You've really, clearly it's culminated with, you've won a championship here before. You won the 360 shootout. Like you were saying, with growing up, watching your dad and having all that success, does it make the success that you've had here recently like even sweeter, knowing the kind of ups and downs that you've been through in your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to put my name in the history books next to the rest of them. My grandpa Leonard got a few 410 wins here in the 70s, and then won multiple 410 track championships as a car owner and a crew chief. So he's got all of his, and Austin's, he's etching his name in there. Probably going for number 4 and 3 in a row, and my dad's got 7. So I really would like a 410 championship. I don't want to be the only one to not have one. And we ran 3rd last year. We're 4th or 5th right now. I don't know if Tim's got back by me tonight, but that was our goal going into the season. It's not looking like that's going to happen, but I would just say, and to your original question, sorry, I get ranting sometimes. As far as the ups and downs, when me and Peyton started our own team in 2019, that was at first I thought it was the worst idea I've ever had, but it turned out to be the greatest. Like those first couple of years, I had my dad gave me a frame. Only thing besides advice he's ever given me. I always make the joke. I'm like, my mom and dad didn't give me nothing but advice. But he gave me a frame, and we sat down, and he helped me make a budget, exactly what I would need and what it would cost to run just Knoxville in the 360s, and was able to make that happen. John Cressman had this old 12-year-old Ford 360 that I was working at Toyota Des Moines at the time. And I called him every single day after work for like 3 months straight and was like, let me run it, dude. Because he kind of talked about it before, so I just hammered him every day. We get a good laugh out of it now. And literally the week before the first race that year, he was like, all right, fine, come pick it up. And we came and picked it up and ran it, pretty much the entire season, and was able to get a win with it and win the championship. So it all came together at the last second, and then it's just been game on ever since.
Cool. I was giving you shit earlier that you didn't have the 360 tonight after the win, but
Yeah, what's up with that?
we're probably going to go through picks here. I don't know if it'll be in this episode or what for
Well,
360 Nationals.
this'll
I
help.
think we got a sneaky pick right
This
here.
will
Well,
help.
I'd hope so.
What's the confidence going into the next 2 weeks? 360 and 410.
Confidence is definitely high. Tonight was just one of those nights. I knew, I could try to go rip the top and do something crazy, but it probably wasn't going to work. And so I was like, all right, we'll just plug the bottom and save this car for the Nationals. And we were right there, with battling with Kerry Madsen, who's, you know, one of the best here. So I feel like we definitely got race speed. We've been qualifying really well all year. So if we can turn that into a solid heat race run, you know, I think we've got a good shot of making the show on Saturday. You know, my goal, you know, going into the Nationals is to hopefully run well, obviously, but like run top 5 in the 360s would be great.
Yeah.
And then just make that A main of the 410s is my goal there. So, and I feel like we got the car speed to do it. So we just got to, I don't know, not say get lucky, but have the stars kind of align our way, hopefully. And just, you know, just be like right there, like 12th, you know, where like you didn't even notice me all night and locked in at 12.
Sit right there,
you know, I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
So
you've shown the qualifying speed, and we know how important, you know, starting the week off with a good qualifying lap is. So, I mean, whatever happens after that, you know, pass a few cars in your heat race, you could really set yourself up for a good week.
we got to draw good, and I'm a terrible artist, so we'll see.
Well, Carson, we appreciate your time.
I have one other quick
All
question.
right.
Oh, hey.
We've got a fellow podcaster here. I want to
is true.
hear about the Drivers Project, because if nobody,
I better mention.
We tend to talk about that a lot. We've had JJ, we've got you now. What is your story? How did you get involved with the Drivers Project podcast?
Daryl just called me one day. He's like, "You want to do a podcast?" And I was like, "You want me to do a podcast with you?" He's like, "Absolutely." And I was like, "All right, fine." And so it started with me and JJ and him doing the Knoxville one, which I enjoyed that for sure. But I don't know. I just like this, like having a conversation and is a lot easier than I don't like talking about other people.
Yeah, bullet points, and you're like, talk about this, talk about this.
Yeah, but
Need
like
an opinion on everything.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, Daryl will be like, "Hey, what the heck's going on here?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. He's a buddy of mine.
I don't know.
I don't know." But no, it's a ton of fun. At which I'm sure with your podcast, if we let out the unedited version, I think we would get more views. I think it'd be hilarious. I keep telling Daryl we need a Patreon for the whole thing. Which, you know, we're not saying anything bad. It's just hilarious.
We talk in, like, Kade and Josh and I literally talk for an hour before the show.
Yes.
And 30 minutes after the show.
And
probably the best conversation might actually be.
And that's what happens with us. And I'm like, that should be the podcast.
Yeah.
You should almost hit record and not tell us, and then have that be the podcast.
Yeah.
But no, Daryl does a great job.
Yes.
Follow him on Twitter or whatever the heck. I don't know.
Everywhere. Just look up the Drivers Project.
If you see Daryl, just follow him around.
I love it. Because I told JJ, like, honestly, it was the Drivers Project is partly why I wanted to start this talking with Blake and Kade, because there's so much stuff to talk about sprint car racing in general, specifically here. And like you were just saying, like just having the conversations and stuff is so much fun because fans can't see that very easily. And it's easy to forget that you guys are just dudes and girls just out there wheeling it. You're just like everybody else.
I know. I keep thinking every time I text JJ, I'm like, Daryl's surely not going to ask me to come back. Like, that was horrible. That wasn't good at all. There's no way. And he keeps asking me back, so I'll keep doing it, I guess.
And you guys are doing a show at the Nationals, right?
Yes. We got bumped up. We're on the second floor. We were in the theater thing last year, and I couldn't believe it. I showed up late, and there was a ton of people there. I thought, I've done those theater shows before, and it's just, me, Mike Roberts, and like 4 people. And there was a ton of people, so yeah, I guess we're going to be on the second floor on Wednesday at 1 o'clock.
I think I saw that.
I don't know. Check the newsletter. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah.
We're going up against each other. Maybe next year we won't be at the same time.
I was going to say, maybe we can work together a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Look at us go. Merging, working together.
Yeah, appreciate the time, man.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win last week, and hopefully have a good Nationals.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cut.
Nice.
Thanks again to Carson for a great chat. Had a lot of fun. We had covered a lot of topics there in a short amount of time. So I'm glad we were finally able to catch up with him, like we were mentioning before, that just didn't work out to get him immediately after his 360 shootout win. But nonetheless, Blake, we did our picks a little earlier. We didn't mention him. He's a champion.
One to watch.
And I said it in our interview with him. I think that he could be one to watch. He's had really, really good speed when he's pulled the 360 down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to be, him and Austin are going to be right there, and they're probably going to be battling together. So I would not be surprised. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Carson could do. It's been a good year for him. I know, obviously, he said he wanted a little bit better in the point standings, but that championship, 410 championship's coming. It's only a matter of time. Great conversation with him, and we lasted through the humidity, and everything worked great. And yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, so, that's going to wrap another episode here, Blake. We are finally to it. We've got the Extreme, powered by Mediacom, 360 Nationals, presented by Great Southern Bank. They're kicking off on Thursday. So if you do not have your tickets yet, make sure you get those things booked right now. We're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday with the 2 preliminary nights and then the finale on Saturday. And then Capitani Classic, Ivani Windows and Doors, Capitani Classic presented by Great Southern Bank on Sunday the 3rd. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had mentioned it.
Awesome.
We're going to have a ton of content coming out. So please make sure you go to our YouTube channel, search Knoxville Nights, give us a subscribe, give us a like. We're also going to have all of our, this is jumping ahead a week, all of our live shows during the next week will go to the podcast feed as well. So all of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday content, though, that will only be on YouTube, and then also sprinkled out with our Jetco trailer talks on our socials as well. But otherwise, like I was saying, follow Knoxville Nights on all the socials. We're at Knoxville Nights with no O on Twitter. I'm at Josh_Gerlach. Kade is at Kade Higday, and Mr. Walker here is at Blake_Walker8. Got any final thoughts, Blake?
Not really. I'm excited. Weather's going to be nice. I hope to see everyone here at Knoxville, and yeah, it's going to be a fun one. This is the best time of the year.
It sure is. Looking forward to it, guys. Like I said, give us a subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you later this week for more Knoxville Nights in America, Blake.